News of the day, FBI Director James Comey getting grilled on Capitol Hill. The investigation, of course, into Hillary Clinton's email server. And Donald Trump, well, he threw in his thoughts as well.
Nobody understands how she can get a congressional subpoena. She gets the subpoena. This didn't happen before the subpoena. She gets the subpoena, and she then goes out and she deletes 33,000 emails. And I'm so disappointed with the people in Washington for allowing her to get away with this. I'm so disappointed.
FBI Director James Comey facing off with members of the House Judiciary Committee today over the Bureau's handling of the investigation into Hillary Clinton's use of a private email server while she was Secretary of State. The FBI gave 5 Clinton aides immunity during the course of this investigation, a deal that some members of Congress believe shows that the FBI was actually in the tank for Clinton. Comey vehemently denied this. Take a look.
Call us wrong, but don't call us weasels. We are not weasels. We are honest people. And we did this in that way. Whether you disagree or agree with the result, this was done the way you would want it to be done.
Joining me now to discuss, Steve Rogers, former FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force member and Trump advisor, Fox News contributor Mercedes Schlapp, Democratic strategist Blake Rutherford, and Matt Whitaker, former U.S. attorney. Let me start with you, Matt. Was this done the way we would want it done?
Yeah, it was highly unusual. I served with Jim Comey in the Department of Justice, and actually Congressman Ratcliffe, who had an interesting exchange with him, and I were U.S. attorneys at the same time. And, you know, I have never seen immunity given to lawyers for laptops. The FBI usually issues grand jury subpoenas and search warrants to do investigations, not offering immunity to whoever might have information that turns out to not be useful anyway.
You know, Mercedes, the timing of some of the immunity, the decisions made by Clinton's camp before and after this became an issue with respect to the FBI investigation, all of it, and then, of course, the FBI's final conclusion that not to go forward with this has left a real unsavory taste in the mouth of the American public.
That's right. And, you know, the FBI is actually trying to pass the buck over to the Department of Justice, saying, hey, we didn't have anything to do with this immunity. You all, the Department of Justice, did. So what is very disturbing is the fact that when you look at Cheryl Mills' laptop, they found classified information. The mere fact that there will be no accountability for these individuals who have, in essence, been not only extremely careless, you can call it gross negligence, the mere fact that there will be no steps moving forward to really deal with this issue, I think is incredibly problematic. And it really not only, it just continues to raise more questions, Charles.
I think that's the key, Blake. You know, listen, Hillary dodged the bullet with this debate, but this is going to come up. And I don't know what the good answer will be for her with respect to the 33,000 emails, to all the immunity that was given up, the use of this bleaching device. I mean, it sounds like a criminal enterprise, Blake.
I think the most important thing, Charles, here is that the FBI has reached their final determination and the Justice Department has reached their final determination. Now, all we're doing is attacking the process, and to what end? It's not particularly productive. It's not going to change the outcome. The FBI director, who is a Republican, who is well respected on Capitol Hill, made his determination and recommendation, which the Justice Department accepted. I hate to say it, but really it is time to move on. Yeah. Attacking this process just isn't that productive. It's not going to change the outcome for Hillary Clinton, and it's not going to change the outcome for Republicans who want to see something different.
Matt, it may change the outcome of the election, and to your point, James Comey was very respected among Republican circles. Steve, let me ask you, because you're one of the first guys I think of with this kind of stuff. Comey says that these are honest individuals and they don't carry water for anyone. We're not on anyone's side. And then, of course, he went on and says, you can call us wrong, but don't call us weasels. We are not weasels. Are you torn here with this? Because I know you have a lot of respect for Comey and the FBI.
Very torn, as many FBI agents are active and retired. And Donald Trump articulated the frustration and disappointment of the American people when it comes to the FBI. Charles, at the end of the day, after all and said is done, the damage done to the reputation of the FBI will take many, many years to repair. The FBI, I still believe in their agents. I believe in the agency, but I think January, he's going to have to step down.
James Comey.
Yes, sir.
Matt, let me ask you on this. Is it done in terms of not the impact on the election or James Comey's career, but are all legal options with respect to getting some form of remedy on clear violations by the then Secretary of State, are they all exhausted?
Unless you have a Trump administration that appoints a new attorney general and reopens this case, because there is a statute of limitation that is ticking but is not passed. And I could imagine in this world that we live in that a Trump administration could open this case and relook at these charges, however petty that might seem to some.
Well, do they seem petty? Would it seem petty to you, though?
No, but it would be highly, partisan, and much of this, as a former member of the law enforcement community, for me has been you follow the law and you see what the facts do and you investigate the entire crime and not just pieces and portions like it appears they did in this instance. And I don't think it would be petty, but I think there would be, partisan charges on both sides if justice was ultimately done in this case.
Yeah, I think that you may see charges happen before the wall goes up, Mercedes. But this is an election issue. It's not going away. It's one of these things whenever it's polled across the board, people are just curious because it dovetails with the notion that the Clintons have always been above the law. And it's not just a recent thing, but something that goes back multiple decades.
Right, and I think the outcome probably won't change. It probably will most likely not reopen the case, even under a Trump administration. But what it has done is that it has obviously built on this notion that Hillary Clinton cannot be trusted. I mean, when more facts continue to come out with these FBI documents, when you see this Hillary cover-up operation and deleting the emails, this exactly adds to the narrative about Hillary Clinton and her this serial pattern of dishonesty. And I think that at the end, that just continues to this is why she can't get over 50%, basically.
Steve, multiple law enforcement agencies now, unions have come out in support of Donald Trump. And really, I don't know that I've ever really seen this before. More recently, I think it was immigration and a variety of them, the Fraternal Order of Police. Is it because of the relationship with law enforcement as being headed by Barack Obama, or is there something else afoot here that so many in the law enforcement community see as shining light in Donald Trump? Are they worried about their ability to even carry out the law anymore?
Well, absolutely right. Look, their ability to carry out the law has been hindered by the Obama administration. But more importantly, Charles, the cry out there from law enforcement is help us do our job. Help us to help the people in the inner cities. We've mentioned Chicago and we've mentioned Baltimore. The police in this nation really want to come together with the people, and I'm convinced the people want to come together with them. You do that by getting politics out of the way and get a leader in there who's going to do the job, and that's Donald Trump.
So, Blake, you talk about this, and most of the panel agrees with you. Maybe this goes nowhere legally, but you have to admit this is a very dark cloud hanging over the Clinton administration, and one of the biggest hurdles between her and the White House. What is she going to do next time she's asked about this on a national stage?
Well, Charles, look, I think you're right. I mean, it certainly has been a political question for her. It's been a political issue for her. I suspect it will come up in the next debate. I think she's going to have to deal with it, and she's going to have to deal with it effectively. This has been an issue that has dogged her campaign. Certainly, I think the FBI's determination is helpful to her. I think it is a big deal that the FBI reached a conclusion that found that she did absolutely nothing wrong, and that the Justice Department accepted that. But I think there's a narrative she's going to have to feed and frame. In this next debate, I would expect her to do that and to do that effectively.
And finally, Mercedes, Comey was pretty adamant, again, saying we're honest people. We don't carry water for anyone. Many Trump voters don't believe that. I mean, it is difficult when you have a large portion of the American public that has no faith in the FBI, at least the FBI right now under James Comey.
Look, FBI Director Comey has obviously to protect his own. He got very emotional about it. But at the same time, when you read Comey's statement on Hillary Clinton, it was such a scathing statement on her on being extremely careless. And you had many prosecutors going out there saying, well, why isn't he making that recommendation to the Department of Justice to move forward? And so I think that's why it's hard. It really comes into play why so many Americans question the actions of the federal government, in this case, the FBI.
Yeah, so interesting you say that. I was on the phone with my wife, and as Comey was talking, and I said, I got to go. They're going to indict Hillary Clinton. And of course, it didn't happen. Guys, thank you all very much. Appreciate it.
Thank
Coming
you.
up, Hillary Clinton getting an endorsement for the record.